Hello, my dear ones. Today our topic is how to drink properly from a wine glass, how to hold it, and how to understand which glass is meant for what. I gathered five of the most likely glasses you may see in a restaurant or when visiting someone, where the table is set according to etiquette. Most likely, all of you have seen such glasses in your life. But did you really know how to drink from them correctly? Or why they are used that way? Let's figure it out. In front of me are five variations. Which one is for what? Let's start with the very first, the simplest glass. Sometimes whiskey is served in it, but very often this shape is also used simply for water. Since we're just drinking water and there is no stem, we hold it very simply. We just pick it up and hold it like this. That's all. And right away, let's think about how it stands on the table. As a rule, all our glasses will always stand on the right side of our main plate, not on the left. Because I have sometimes seen people who don't know this reach for someone else's glass in a restaurant. Of course, that is unpleasant. But if something like that happens, soften the situation. If someone doesn't know etiquette, that is not a reason to make them feel uncomfortable at the table. Turn it into a joke. Smile. But the main thing is that you know where your glasses are. They will be on your right side in different possible arrangements. Most often, the first glass farthest to the right will be your water glass, and the second one will most likely be your white wine glass. Most often, according to etiquette, there will be a white wine glass. What might it look like? It can have this shape, or it can have this shape. But with this shape, you can confuse it with a champagne glass, because the classic champagne glass most often used today is a flute. It looks similar, but it will stand on a longer stem and be taller. So if you see one like this, but not on a very tall stem, it is most likely a white wine glass. And as a rule, the white wine glass will stand next to the water glass. Though sometimes they may be reversed, it is still more common and more correct for the water glass to be closest to your hand, because you will drink water most often. And to keep things simple for now, let's say this is our white wine glass. By the way, it can also be used for red wine. But people usually try to make red and white wine glasses different. Sometimes they are similar in shape, but different in size, because the red wine glass will always be larger with a bigger bowl. So let's say we chose this one for white wine. Next, as a rule, the red wine glass will stand there. Don't be surprised. You can encounter such a setting at diplomatic receptions, high-level formal dinners, or in elegant restaurants where there really may be many glasses, and you need to know how not to get confused. And after that, as a rule, the champagne glass will stand there if the setting is arranged that way, or it may be the other way around. First the champagne glass, then white wine, then red wine, depending on the order in which drinks and dishes are meant to be served. But the glasses will always stand on the right side. They may be arranged, for example, like this: water glass, champagne glass. Then, well, I'm showing it from this side for now. Later we'll make a full table setting and show it the way it would look from your side. Today we're just getting acquainted with the glasses and learning how to hold them properly. Let's say we have this arrangement. First the water glass, which we already studied. Let's say the champagne glass. What is special about it? Especially in the countries of the former Soviet Union. There used to be another champagne glass called a coupe, that round shallow bowl, almost like a dessert dish. I didn't bring it today, but I'll need to show it to you too. There is also a martini glass. But let's stay with this for today. Now look, my dear ones, what is the main idea here? It stands on a long stem and has an elongated shape. Why? Because the long stem is there so you do not want the drink with your hand, so you do not smudge the bowl itself, and so it looks beautiful and elegant when you hold it. Look, in this kind of champagne glass, the bubbles rise for a long time, and you can enjoy watching them. It creates a lovely little play. When the coupe was fashionable, on the contrary, the bubbles escaped very quickly, and the taste of the champagne opened more quickly. Some people prefer one, some the other, but in both cases, the champagne glass has a long stem, because champagne is best served cold, and therefore we put the glass as low on the stem as possible. In the past, just as with the teacup, there was a version that was considered beautiful, holding the glass and elegantly curving the fingers, but never sticking out the little finger and never tucking the fingers awkwardly. Since that kind of finger acrobatics is difficult, most people simply hold it like this, with the fingers as low as possible on the stem. You can even rest your fingers slightly against the base. That is completely correct, because you are holding it low and not touching the bowl. This is considered elegant and proper. Sometimes people also hold it by the base itself. Wine professionals especially like to do that. But in that position, it becomes difficult to place it back on the table, and you will probably need to change your grip anyway. Unless you are a wine professional and very practiced, it usually won't feel comfortable. So the ideal option is, of course, like this. And in about the same way we hold all stamped glasses. That was the champagne glass. Now let's take the next one. If you continue with wine, then usually next comes white wine. We hold it exactly the same way. White wine may be poured about halfway, champagne about one third, red wine also about one third. We take it like this and hold it the same way, and the same continues with red wine. Sometimes there is an opinion that red wine may be held higher, but no, in general, it is still more correct to hold it lower on the stem. The lower you hold it, the more elegant it looks. There is nothing difficult about it. It is convenient and pleasant. Sometimes people hold it with 3 fingers and tuck the others. That can be done too, but this position is steadier, more elegant, and more beautiful. I think now you won't get confused by these glasses. In any case, if you are in a restaurant or visiting someone and there are many glasses already set out, usually the serving order has already been planned. If you are in a good restaurant and ordering for yourself and these glasses are standing there, don't be afraid. Most likely the waiter will still pour the drinks for you and you understand what to drink. Still, it is better, of course, to understand which glass shape corresponds to what and most importantly, how to hold it correctly. What other rules are there? When we drink, just as with a teacup, if we take a sip, at that moment we look at the glass. If we are making a toast, then of course we look into people's eyes. But once the toast is over and we drink, we look at the glass. That is considered a beautiful rule. If you want to make the impression of someone who knows good manners, it is worth remembering. And one more thing, especially for ladies. If you are in a restaurant, try not to leave lipstick marks or greasy marks after food on the glass. If you are not sure your lips are clean enough, simply blot them with the napkin that usually rests on your lap. We will talk about napkins separately. And ladies, when you go to a restaurant to visit someone or to a dinner invitation, it is best to use lipstick that does not leave marks. Why spoil the impression of yourself But if, for example, you forgot or didn't buy that kind of lipstick in time, or you ran to a date looking beautiful with bright lipstick and don't want to wipe it off, then at least follow one rule. Always drink from the same spot on the rim. You take a sip and you place it back the same way. Even if there is a mark, it will stay in one place instead of the whole glass looking outlined and kissed by your lipstick, which is very unattractive and not according to etiquette. It creates an unpleasant impression of you almost subconsciously. What else is important? People often ask me if we pick up a glass from the table, from a full arrangement like this, take a sip, where do we put it back? You put it back in the same place where it was standing before. If the arrangement was correct, it will not be hard to do. In this case, for example, if I were putting it back, I would place it like this, you see, so we can still reach all the glasses. Or later some of the glasses may simply be removed, but that should be thought through by the host or by whoever arranged the reception, so that you can easily reach each glass and return it to its place. The point is that order is preserved on the table, and the table does not turn into a mess, but stays as beautiful as it was when you arrived. And that, in general, is all. You also know, of course, that when we lift the glass, we do not reach our body towards the glass. We sit straight. Our elbows do not fly around. They stay close to us. We lift the glass along this kind of path, bringing the glass to us, not bending over it like a little dog, to lick or lap from it. This is, in general, one of the main table rules. It is worth remembering. It applies to everything, but I wanted to remind you of it once again. Please write in the comments what other etiquette topics you would like me to film and what exactly interests you in table etiquette. In general, I don't like to begin teaching with table etiquette right away because sometimes people become fixated on it and lose the real essence of etiquette and of ethics. Because the point is, first of all, our beautiful attitude toward people and the ability to create an atmosphere where everyone around us feels comfortable. That is the main thing. All the rest, yes, it is beautiful, elegant, refined, but it should be the outer expression of a beautiful inner world. And that is exactly what I truly wish for you. Our etiquette episodes are released every Monday evening, Pacific time. I believe that your inner world is beautiful. I truly believe that because God creates a person beautiful. But sometimes we go through life in a way that makes us forget how beautiful we are, or perhaps we simply were not told that often enough. If no one has told you today that you are beautiful, then I am telling you now, you are beautiful. I love you very much, my dear ones. Until we meet again.